How do you rank all 7 Scream movies? Well, let's talk a little bit about it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I want to be a fighter, like you.
Oh, let it burn! Let it burn!
Did you miss me?
You have to shoot them in the head. They always come back.
The boat can leave now. Tell the crew.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Sometimes scrolling on the internet can be scary, but thankfully NordVPN makes it worry-free. NordVPN is one of the most trusted internet security providers on the market. It offers a lightning-fast VPN connection, next-gen encryption, and advanced features that boost your online security wherever you are on every device. Their privacy-focused values, customer-centric mindset, and cybersecurity expertise make NordVPN one of the leading VPN providers globally. Today, millions of users choose NordVPN for comprehensive online protection. Check out NordVPN to keep your horror movies scary and your internet scrolling safe. The link for that will be in the description below. Thank you so much to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Getting into the rankings, I just want to remind everybody that, hey, we all rank the Scream movies differently, and it's okay. Let's respect everybody's opinions and be kind to one another. Besides, man, these are just movies. Who cares? Whatever your ranking is, leave it for me down in the comments below. Now let's get into the rankings. As many of you know who have been watching this channel for some time now, you know that pretty much every time I rank the Scream movies, I rank them differently. That's because there is things I love about every single Scream movie that just blow me away every time I come back to them. All 6 of the Scream movies that preceded 7 had something really interesting to offer, except for this latest one. A few positives about Scream 7 are that Ghostface scores some Art the Clown inspired kills, even if they don't really match the style of the killers who end up underneath the masks. And I also really enjoyed the character reinvention of Mindy Meeks Martin. This was by far the best outing for Jasmine Savoy Brown, who I think has a lock on the character now. I really hope to see more of Mindy Weathers in part 8. Also, that McKenna Grace kill early on is easily the best scene of the movie and a top 10 kill from the entire Scream franchise. When Ghostface slices her open and those guts spray out all over the stage, that was easily the most happy I was watching this entire film. Sadly, these elements are just icing on a cake, however, and this movie failed to bake a cake. This is more like spreading frosting on a dog turd. Scream 7 ends up being a soulless cash grab that botches every tried and true franchise staple with its lazy-ass script. The AI commentary is surface level at best and only present to create cameo appearances, the murder mystery is treated like an afterthought, and the killers themselves are so convoluted that any sort of substance that could have been had here is entirely muddled. Not even one of the big franchise elements are handled properly here, and that is especially disappointing coming from series creator Kevin Williamson. Personally, I blame the studio and the behind-the-scenes drama for these clearly rushed rewrites. I'm being crazy generous here, but I hope that Kevin Williamson gets another shot at writing and directing with Scream 8, and I only say that because he's the series creator. Anyone else putting out slop like this would get the boot. Scream 3 is finally not at the bottom of my list. I am rejoicing right now because this movie is so underrated and deserves so much love. Although the third entry in the Scream franchise was a product of studio interference, the film still carries that punk rock underground energy that makes the original trilogy stand the test of time. Sadly, Scream 3 is lacking in the kills department, and most of the tension in this flick just isn't really there. Instead, this flick successfully plays as a live-action episode of Scooby-Doo. Some fans don't like that. Me personally, I vibe with it. Then there's this dark juxtaposition with some hard-hitting commentary. The meta here takes aim at the Weinsteins, which makes this sequel legendary with a massive middle finger to those Roman's murder mystery and secret brother motive might be a little melodramatic, but fueling this teenage angst against the producers of this film is the saving grace of this plagued sequel. That's a Hollywood story for the ages, man. The comedic elements, like literally everything coming out of Parker Posey's mouth this entire film, keep this flick constantly entertaining, and the meta commentary elements are consistently intriguing. Not to mention the larger-than-life Hollywood setting, that rocks. Sidney Prescott is a total fucking badass here despite her limited screen time, and Gail and Dewey's romance flowers like never before. The cheesy moments end up being I'm laughing with you versus at you, and the ending is easily the most wholesome from the entire series. If you're looking for a near family-friendly gateway horror flick to introduce the youngins to the genre, look no further than Scream 3. Five Cream may get off to a rocky start with some weak character introductions and a killless opening scene, but about 45 minutes into this one, it takes off and never stops until the ending. The kills in this movie absolutely hurt to watch, especially the death of Wes Hicks, where Ghostface slowly pushes a knife through his jugular. The new actors mostly figure out their character dynamics by the end. I'm looking at you, Sam and Tara. And the legacy characters shine as always. Maybe the biggest positive of Scream 5 is that David Arquette owns this fucking movie with Dewey Riley's best performance by far. Maybe that's because David Arquette knew that his beloved character was going to die here, so he was going to give it his all. That is, unless you count Goth Dewey from Scream 7. I personally don't. Although Dewdrop was the punchline of many jokes in the previous 4 installments, David Arquette approaches this flick with a more grisly and hardened take. He's still got some really funny moments in there, but also some emotional ones too. I tear up a little bit every time he has that last conversation with Gale talking about their failed relationship. It's one of the first times that this franchise makes my heart fucking break. The second time is when Dewey fucking dies 10 minutes later. Dewey Riley sacrifices himself to stop the killer and save characters that he literally just met moments ago. You could not write a more poetic death for this character. Dewey died how he lived, following his heart, not his brain, in order to protect those around him. He will forever have the best character arc in the entire Scream franchise, and I really hope they preserve that until the end of time. Last big thing about Scream 5 is I love the killers in this film. Amber's reveal is a huge blast the first time you see this, and although Richie is a little obvious, Jack Quaid sells me because he's just such a likable guy. Jack Quaid is one of those actors that can play both sides so well, and that's why he's a perfect Ghostface actor. He can play the good guy really well, but also play the bad guy just as good. Not everyone can do that. Jack Quaid fucking can. I also love that these are just two toxic Stab fans who want to give the movies better material to work with. Scream 5 is crazy ahead of its time, especially looking at the Scream fandom right now. I think in the next few years, Scream 5 is going to get reevaluated. For now, it sits down here at number 5 for me, but maybe on my next rewatch, it goes up a tick. I love Scream 6 with my whole damn heart. This movie rocks so goddamn hard. Maybe the most misunderstood Scream film out there, Scream 6 might fail to deliver a good murder mystery, but it hits on every other pillar of this wonderful franchise. It's a major celebration of the series that is made for the fans who love to pitch wacky scenarios that these films could play around with. This whole movie is made up of insane scenarios that still end up working so well to create tension and some disgusting kills. I don't think it's too hot of a take to say that some of the sequences in this flick are the most tense of the series, especially Ghostface wielding a shotgun in the bodega, which is totally bonkers, and the ladder crawl followed by a dumpster high dive. No notes. Great stuff. The core 4 becomes lovable here as this promising group of youngsters are given even better material to work with than in 5. I think 5 Cream tried just a little too hard with its dialogue to be meta, and here in Scream 6 they kind of just drop all of that and say, you know what, let's just write real people. That feels more relatable to actual horror movies of the 2020s. It's a small fix that leads to greater results here in the requel sequel. Core 4 forever, baby! Scream 6 also has my personal favorite opening sequence of the entire franchise, playing off of one of the craziest fan theories out there. We briefly follow around a wannabe Ghostface killer and Tony Revolori's hilariously named Jason Carvey. After stabbing the shit out of Samara Weaving, one of my favorite working Scream queens right now, Ghostface takes off the mask and reveals who the killer is within the first 5 goddamn minutes. It was such a wonderful shock the first time I saw it, and every time I come back to this one, this opening scene just gets better and better. Everything works for me here, especially the phone call from another Ghostface afterwards. Tony Revolori delivers some disturbing dialogue where he talks about actually going after someone and killing them, how they feel like an animal, and how every single stab made them feel less and less. Do you feel like an animal, Jason? Oh, goosebumps every time. Scream 6 fucking rocks, and I will forever cherish this very over-the-top popcorn flick, warts and all. Scream 2 might not tell as tight of a story as the original, but my god is it a perfect pairing to the first film's commentary. Here we have a pissed off, grieving mother as a killer finding anyone else to blame except herself for the death of her child. Laurie Metcalf's performance may be way too over the top to the point of self-parody, but the material is fucking excellent here. It has so much to say about the era of the late 90s, where mothers would call into TV stations saying, "That program was inappropriate. I don't want my damn kid watching Beavis and Butthead."
What are you doing?
Scream 2 says that we shouldn't be blaming the movies, we should be blaming the parents who need to do a better job. I also love Mickey and his motives so goddamn much here. Purposefully blaming the movies to get away with murder makes him and Debbie Salt one of the most gruesome twosomes of this entire series. I have to admit, I've given a lot of shit to this flick before in the past, but on this most recent rewatch, which you can literally watch a video of me watching it here on the page, everything just clicked for me. The biggest thing, the dynamic between these two killers. Say what you want about Kevin Williamson, but this is genius. Honestly, I love all the characters in this flick, and I think that's what makes it so rewatchable. Of course, the OG core four, Sid, Gail, Dewey, and Randy, rock, but I have to give a massive shout out to the sorority girls that are so fake they make me laugh every fucking time.
Hi! No, I really mean that. Hi.
Portia de Rossi and Rebecca Gayheart should have been the killers in this movie. I don't care if that doesn't make any sense, that would have been so fucking funny. What Scream 2 lacks in cohesiveness and brutality, it completely makes up for in entertainment value and razor motherfucking sharp commentary, baby. Before we get into our top 2 picks, did you know that you can literally pick up all of the clothes on my body at the merch store right now? You can also pick up the Stab collection right now until March 2nd, which is coming up in just a few days here. Go get it while you still can. All right, now let's get back to the rankings. This is a little controversial, but hear me out. The original Scream from 1996 is a masterpiece of cinema that has influenced generation after generation of horror filmmaking. I would argue the same could be said about Scream 4. I'm giving the fourth movie the gold today because it deserves its flowers for basically conjuring up the influencer killer for the first time, and officially becoming just as influential as its original movie here in the 2020s. Without Scream 96, we would never have I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, and Final Destination. But without Scream 4, we wouldn't have the influencer franchise, Deadstream, or Sissy. These are modern hits that I think will stand the test of time. Jill Roberts isn't just one of my favorite ghost faces in the Scream franchise, she's also achieved the fame she's always wanted, but here in the real world. You can't tell me that Cassandra Naud's CW character in the influencer films isn't just remotely based off of Sidney Prescott's cousin. What about Sean Ruddy from Deadstream, an influencer who's battling cancel culture and trying to gain his reputation back by spending the night live streaming at a haunted house? These flawed characters would risk it all just to get those likes flowing again. Would they be the same without Scream 4? I'd argue no. Look, in reality, the original Scream film is always going to be the best Scream movie, but I'm gonna give Scream 4 the gold today specifically to make this point. On top of that influencer influence, Scream 4 also has some of the best new ensemble, introducing the likes of Kirby Reed, played excellently by Hayden Panettiere, the very best reveal in the whole franchise, and the nastiest kill in this series, in Olivia Morris's bedroom. Did I mention how fucking awesome Emma Roberts is as Jill Roberts? I did, but I have some more things to say. The physical performance alone in the third act deserves a standing ovation, but this killer is colder than ice and more sour than a barrel full of lemons. Do lemons come in barrels? I don't fucking know, but Jill Roberts probably does. This is the killer that I am easily the most scared of in the entire Scream franchise, and she probably eats her bowl of nails in the morning without any milk. The original Scream and Scream 4 are getting a 10 out of 10 from me, baby. I love both of these goddamn movies so much. So some hot takes were thrown out during today's video. I know. I want to hear what your guys' lists are down in the comments below. Please leave them for me. I'm very curious. I think everybody ranks the Scream franchise a little differently. A lot of these movies are fucking phenomenal. Everyone's going to have a different list. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Please subscribe. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.